Another week of Kupo's Corner. Yeah, let's get some drawing in today. Uh, I plan on letting this being a short one because I am working some other projects. Some stuff on the horizon for me. I'll let you guys know a little secret. There's some projects I'm working with some uh, other friends on a Discord, a few Discords I'm part of. One of them called Be My Friend Coward. I frequent there a lot. Uh, so something big coming there if you're a member of it. If not, well then hopefully I'll see you there soon. So anyway, here's my logo. Let's get to it. And that's gonna be only the start of it. So there's a gun here. I've already pre-drawn that before because I am just terrible with sidearms. So I had to thankfully use the app I use called Easy Pose because it has all sorts of artillery and weaponry that I can use, or that you can use, in case you want to have a character hold a gun, hold a weapon, hold a sai, a sword, a mace, whatever floats your boat. Easy Pose has it all in terms of weaponry. You definitely use that to help get a better understanding of how a weapon is held, especially for angle of a weapon. And that's what we're going to do here with this thing. This was supposed to be a commission that was supposed to be done ages ago, but for whatever reason at the time, the computer and this program kept crashing on me, taking all the work with it, and I never saved. So I started saving again. So let me save this real quick. Save as, we'll just call it gun for now. Alright. So this commission was given to me by my cousin, who goes about on his phone with various apps making music. I've heard some of it. I like some of it. And he wrote one piece where he felt the cover art should be a mushroom person holding this pistol right here. So before we go any further into that, let me just double check, make sure I am streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And Facebook is a go, and looks like YouTube, Facebook are both good. Let's see. Alright. Now then. He gave me a basis of what he wanted the character to look like, so that's what I'm working with. Because I originally did a Mushroom Man, but it wasn't his forte. So he showed me an example of what he wanted more like, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine, no worries. But I still took it to heart because like I told him, like, I do like to involve the clientele with what I'm doing, in case I'm doing something and they don't like it, and I put all this work in and said, scrap it. And that's just no bueno for me. It's not gonna be a good time for nobody. So yeah, whenever I do a good commission, I like to, like I said, involve the clientele, because in the end, this is something they're paying for. If they want it done, they want it done right. Here we go. So I do have a reference material for the mushroom character that he wants, so it won't be, thankfully, anything too iconic looking in terms of art style, because the character design is from a video game, but I don't remember which one right now. But it doesn't matter. It will be more slightly iconic looking in terms of the colors he wants used. In essence, he just wants the mushroom to be color-wise similar to a one-up mushroom from Super Mario Brothers. And I said, say no more, fam. I got you. So let's take this up here. Let's go ahead and transform this. and just nudge it in. Freeform. Towards the bottom here. There we go. I should about do it. Otherwise, let's see. Lots of stuff going on in the world right now. We just had Lollapalooza here in my city. And as a rideshare driver, I avoided it like the plague because, the plague. Thankfully for me and for various thousands of other people, I heard that admittance to the concert and its events can only be done if you have proof that you are vaccinated. I personally do not know if that violates any bylaws or laws in terms of medical privacy acts. It kind of feels like it should, but at the same time, there's a word going around that there are various employers that only hire people that can prove that they have been vaccinated. Which I'm all for, because, I don't want someone that can easily get sick like that making my tacos for me, or my burgers, or my shakes, or whatever you have a taste for, That being said, I've also heard on the grapevines that there are people who, get this, are making and selling counterfeit vaccination cards. So I don't know what's more baffling, the fact that there's a market for this, or the fact that there is in fact a market, because there are people paying top dollar to have a card that says, yes, I am vaccinated, when the vaccines themselves are free. They're free. Like, I don't know how to say. The vaccines are literally cheaper than White Sox tickets. And White Sox tickets, they're basically giving them away as like cereal prizes. If you take disrespect to the White Sox, I don't care. Because in the end, for me, it's all Chicago. Go teams. I was never big on sports, but that does remind me of one story I have from ride sharing. So, it's the first game of the season for the Bears, and this is going back like almost 4 years ago. I got 4 fresh off the boat Irish boyos, and they're talking with each other. There's a group of them. The alpha of the pack is sitting right next to me up front, and they're going back and forth on who's going to do what this year, which players they think might be going out, who might be coming in, who getting drafted, whatever. In the end, it's all French to me. I could care less. I only cared when they decided to bring me into the talk. So the alpha male looks at me and goes, so, how do you think Urlacher's going to do this year? Apologies, that isn't my most earnest attempt at an Irish accent. Sometimes my accents get kerfuffled, and they end up sounding somewhat different. So, apologies to any Irish or Scottish or pretty much any folk. If I end up sounding like I'm trying to imitate your native tongue. So anyway, the head honcho, the big boss, asks me, how I think Urlacher's going to do this year. And as a joke, I tell this guy, I'm sorry, I don't really follow tennis. And he just looks at me the way you would look at someone if they had just, kicked a puppy. Thankfully, however, his friends in the back seat, they got the joke. And they started laughing. Big Boss wasn't having it, so he looks confused and mad. Which, he really shouldn't have been looking all mad. But slightly offended, too. And he asked me very earnestly, "The hell are you talking about?" And so I started laughing at him because I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, he didn't get the joke, but his friends did. And when I started laughing, his friends realized this. They started laughing even harder at him. And then he just almost breaks his neck, looking back at them and saying, "What are you all laughing about?" And they're like, "Oh my god, Seamus, it's just a joke." His name was Seamus, by the way. They're like, "Oh my god, James, it's just a fucking joke. Let it go." And he still didn't get it. But they did. So that was just a beautiful day for me. And so Restream was normally quiet after that. However, when we get closer to the field, we're behind a truck with what I can only compare it to a restaurant delivery service of quality goods. This truck had it had a little mini grill attached to the little tailgate part at the end of a truck, and it had restaurant quality style drinking glasses, tea candles, tables, coolers. The guy had the perfect setup to a mini outdoor cafe. And this truck had it all. Like I said, candles, drinking glasses, food, alcohol. And one of the Irish guys asked me, "What's with that truck?" He goes, "What's all that stuff for?" And looking into it, I see they have little tea light candles. And I thought to myself, well, that's cool. So I said, considering that it's the first season it's the first game of the season, and they're going against the Raiders at this time, because I remember this very specifically. Considering they're going against the Raiders, I'm pretty sure that the candles are for the vigil after the game. And surprise, surprise, Raiders lost that year. Or I should say that game. So if you're a Raiders fan, oh well, you can't win them all. But just so you know, I'm not a avid or a hardcore sports fanatic. I'll give you this little joke right here. This city is not really known for actual getting tornadoes or things of that nature. I mean, yes, we have tornado warnings, and there's surrounding areas, suburbs, and other counties that do get hit by tornadoes, which is unfortunate. But that's hardly ever the case for the city. But we still have tornado warnings of that nature because it's better safe than sorry. That said, I always feel at home knowing that if for whatever reason there is an actual tornado that touches down the city, the best place I can go to is Soldier Field, because I know for a fact there will never be a touchdown there. Ayo! And if you're still mad about that, well then, that says more about you than it does about me. Because, I'm trying to be chill. I would prefer everyone to have a good time here, but everything aside, sometimes some people will not be happy no matter what happens. Some people will spite just out of spite. And, there's not much I can do about that other than, point you toward the doors and say, have fun out there and best of luck to you, kid. So, the character he showed me up for this model didn't have a mouth, so I think I might give him just a wee bit of a mouth. It's just a little, I don't know what you call it, ooh mouth? Yeah, that's it. Except, let's move it over here. Now, next thing I want to do is get this guy big enough to where it looks like he's actually holding the gun at whomever. So I'll get him over here, and yeah, that looks like it'll work. Make sure. Yep. The fungi, he's not much more of a fungi anymore. He's gonna get you. It's poisonals. It's the face of death. That's what it is. Oh, excuse me. So, let me go ahead and make that, because that's already perfect the way it was before. Lower him down and start working with some colors. I think this time I want to try a little something different. Rather than using black outlines for everything, I'm going to try using just varying degrees of pastels and darker shades to for the outlines instead. Since this will be a one-up mushroom, actually, you know what? There's so many iterations, I forget what they sometimes look like. So give me 1 second here, folks, and see what a one-up mushroom looks like. There we go. I mean, yeah, everyone knows it's basically like a toad head with a green top, but I was thinking more like the original from Super Mario Brothers, the original, where it's like it's a white body, but the cap on top is kind of a orangey tan, and the spots were green. But I think for the sake of argument, I'm probably going to go with the one that everyone knows, probably more comfortable with the green top. So, there we go. That should just about do it. Cool. Let's add a new layer for this line art. Fade that down a little bit. So we'll have him holding the gun, and the gun will be, at least the hammer part, will be behind his head. I'll just crank this sucker up. That looks good. Crank that back down for his body. Okay, give me 1 more second. I always keep forgetting to actually have a chat feature on Restream in case someone wants to chat with me. Let's see here. Chat. There we go. Okay, so far no one. That's fine. No worries. As long as people are watching. And as long as they also get to watch the speed paint, which I will make later after this. Although I still have to make a speed paint of the Superman drawing I did last time. Although I still feel that that one was still slightly incomplete, so I am still fine-tuning it, still working with it, so please, I beg your pardon and having to wait for it to come out, but it will be out soon. The speed paint, I should say. Finished product will actually most likely go onto my Patreon. So, for those that are still don't know, I do have a Patreon, and only patrons will be able to see the finished product. Non-patrons will still be able to see the finished product, but they'll have a watermark over the sucker. Because, I don't want any chances of people just saying, hey, I'm going to take this and post it somewhere and say it's my own. And frankly, it's doing it for more or less of peace of mind. I personally don't think my art is good enough yet to where people want to claim it as their own. But it's still better to have it and not need it rather than to need it and not have it. And, like I said, it's also like a peace of mind thing. Actually, you know what? Let's try it like this. That looks good, as a medic would say. We are going to live forever. I didn't technically say that. I just said we're not riddled with tumors. I am slightly still a TF2 fan. I was definitely more of a fan back in the day before it was free to play. It's kind of funny because a couple years after I bought it, it suddenly became free to play. And my cousin, who I'm doing this commission for, still avid fan of TF2 and still quite the avid player. Although sometimes he will say or do stuff to try and get himself kicked out of servers on purpose. I personally don't understand this. I don't sympathize with it, but I'm like, okay, that's your thing. Cool, I guess. You do you, bud. Well, it's so hard to believe all these years later and TF2 is still going on strong. I guess they will never have enough hats to complete the game. Wrong one. I'm also happy to say I am trying stronger and better, more resilient to sticking to my diet. I bought a hefty amount of smoothie making supplies. This week I am trying the newest vegetable I'm trying is radishes, which I never had before. I've always avoided like the plague because to me they just looked utterly disgusting. I was never really into them. However, as I say, kids always eat your vegetables. They're good for you. You might not like the taste, but it doesn't matter. They can help you do amazing stuff. Radishes in particular, supposed to be good for cholesterol and improving the blood flow, which I think is a song we can all sing and dance to. Put separate layer for the eyes, put them underneath the cap. So yeah, I'm using radishes. My usually go-to recipes involve usually just carrots, celery, some bananas and berries, with a couple of hits of this powder that helps make food, particularly smoothies, taste like peanut butter. Tried it, I liked it, and I'm like, well, okay, this is something I can really get into. Oh, make sure these things are perfectly level. And looks like, okay, yep, perfect. However, this little bad boy should be moved up just a little bit more higher. Cool. Clear the selection, come back down to the eyes, and finish drawing this one. So it'll be complete. Alright, I think that leg can go. Ooh, excuse me. So let me see if I can improve that with a line layer. Copy that color. Send you back down. Take you. Let's go with 6. Alrighty. That looks way better. Merge. Perfect. Merge onto that. Cool. So looks like our little mushroom ham here is ready to get to be colored. Let's go with this, and these two. Come back here. Okay. Clear. Come back up here. Take that. So again, we do those little armpit areas too. I'm actually going to include these with a hint of yellow to pay like a slight tribute to the original shading of the mushrooms, the one-up mushrooms I should say, from Super Mario Brothers. Okay, so one last layer up here to give those little soulless eyes just a little bit of a twinkle. Fantastic. Alrighty. Now let's go give that gun its own separate coloring layer. Bring you back up. Let's see. It's amazing that how many intricate parts of firearms carry. Uh-oh. Oh, come back to that one later. Alrighty. Oh no. There's a break somewhere in this matrix. Oh, yep, okay, I see it. So, tone that down. Eek. And that'll do. clear. Alrighty, looking good. Although, while I have a thought going through my mind, kids, if you ever find a gun, never touch it, never play with it. If you find a gun, go tell an adult. Alrighty. Now I think I'm gonna give him a little background noise. Let's see. Let's go with some clouds. Actually, no. Nice. Stores. Smallers. Oop. Alright, I think that's going to do it for now. Thank you everyone who came by and stopped and watched this hot, delicious mess with me today. And now it's kind of a little short compared to my other streams, but you know, sometimes it is what it is. I do plan on doing more of this. They're not all going to be like, X amount of time. I have no set time to make these in length wise, other than the speed paints, which I try to get down to about 10 or 12 minutes worth. That being said, we're currently just under 40 minutes, so I think that's plenty of time to have this keep it cut, sweet, and short. And I'll let you know later on what the cousin thinks and if he wants to use this or not. Since he's off right now, doing his own thing. So that being said, and again, thank you for coming by. Once again, this is Koopo's Corner. I am Koopo. Thank you once again for coming out to hang out with me. And I will see you guys next time around.